Thank you for joining me. Please find a comfortable seat on your mat or in your space. If you're comfortable keeping the eyes closed, you can do so. Otherwise, open is just fine. On your next inhale, you'll breathe in through the nose and try to lift the head up towards the ceiling to lengthen the spine. And on your exhale, you'll breathe out through the nose too. Trying, if you can, to breathe in and out through the nose throughout practice. If that doesn't work for you, just breathe however's comfortable. You'll also note or try to make sure that the belly is rising or expanding on the inhale, and the belly is contracting back to the spine on the exhale. The belly will rise on inhale, contract to spine on exhale. On your next inhale, you'll bring both palms to heart center. I'm going to first slide the skin away from my sit bones so I can sit nice and tall. And then with palms to heart center, you'll keep a nice open chest. And you'll inhale, sending both arms skyward, gazing up. Exhale, release both palms to the mat at your sides. Place the right palm on the mat, bending the right elbow a little, and lift the left arm overhead. You can keep your gaze ahead or look up. You're looking for a nice stretch on the left side of body, keeping your left hip anchored into the ground or mat. The next time you exhale, you'll float the left hand down to the mat. Placing the left hand to the mat, bending left elbow, you'll inhale, right arm overhead. Again, you can look ahead or look up if that's okay for the neck. Nice long stretch along the right side of body, keeping right hip grounded. Really trying to imagine sending that air over the right side of your ribs or lungs. And on exhale, right hand returns back to the mat. Send both arms and gaze up on inhale. And lifting the upper body out of the hips, you'll twist or rotate to your right side, placing your right hand behind the back, and then your left hand to either knee, whichever's most comfortable. Trying to keep the chest open or collarbones wide, and you're gazing over the right shoulder or towards it. Still taking a full breath in and out, noticing the belly rise on inhale. And on your exhale, you'll unwind back to the center. You'll send both arms and gaze up again, lengthening. And exhale to twist or rotate to the left. The left hand comes right behind the back, close to the bottom, and the right hand to either right or left knee. Collarbones are wide and you're gazing towards your left shoulder. You're really lifting up through the top of head, and on exhale, turning towards your left. With your next exhale, you'll unwind back to the center, send both palms to heart center. Inhale to lengthen arms up, and exhale, release both hands to your sides. From here, you'll just roll over into a tabletop position, coming to all fours. You'll plant the knees underneath the hips and the wrists underneath the shoulders. You can just place the tops of your feet to the ground. You'll make sure that the ribs and belly stay lifted here, parallel to the ground. On your inhale, you'll take a full breath in through the nose and allow the head and hips to lift, or head and tailbone to lift. You might look up if no issues in neck. On your exhale, you'll round the back, opening space between shoulder blades. Inhale, belly comes down, head and hips rise. Exhale, you'll round the back, stretching like a cat. Again, on the inhale, you'll lift the gaze and tailbone, and exhale to round the back, cat pose. Inhale once more, looking up if no issues with neck, and exhale to round the back. We'll slowly find our way over to a seat. You can sit back onto the heels or just cross the ankles behind and come over into a seated position, allowing the sit bones to remain rooted into the mat and the legs to be crossed. On your inhale, you'll lengthen the spine. On your exhale, you'll look over right shoulder. Inhale to look to the center, lengthen. Exhale, head turns over the left shoulder. Inhale to lengthen, sit tall. Exhale, turn the head to the right. Inhale, lengthen, sit tall. And exhale, turn the gaze to the left. On your next inhale, you'll send both arms up to the ceiling, looking up to the hands, interlacing all 10 fingers here, palms facing towards you. On your next exhale, you're going to round the back just like you did in your seat, and you'll press the hands away from the body. Inhale to lengthen, maybe look up, and exhale, round the back, belly to spine, hands away from you. Inhale to look up, and exhale, hands come away as back rounds. Inhale to look up, and exhale, release both hands behind you this time. interlacing all 10 fingers. If that's not possible, you can grab each opposite arm. So here you're rolling the shoulders up and back together in towards your spine, keeping a nice broad chest, filling the belly. You might just take a few kind of small twists side to side, kind of loosening that middle upper back. Might feel nice to even lean forward just a bit. And then you'll just release both palms and give your arms a few circles forwards and backwards. On your next inhale, come back to that tabletop position, wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. You'll inhale, allowing the belly to dip down, head and hips to rise, and exhale to round the back, stretching like a cat. We'll then keep the knees planted underneath the hips and just lift the right arm so it's extended in front of you, parallel to the ground. You're keeping the arm and the ribs and belly parallel to ground. You'll set the right hand down and you'll lift the left arm. Again, extending it away from the body, trying to keep it parallel to the ground, keeping your gaze down. And then you'll release that left hand on the exhale. Give the toes a curl under and just kind of bring the toes closer towards your body, giving a nice stretch to the backs of feet. And then just slowly find your way standing or stepping up to a kind of forward fold here. So both feet are to the ground, the upper body's hanging over the lower body. Please keep a little bend to both knees here so the legs aren't warm, and that helps to protect the low back. You can let the arms hang or grab opposite arms or elbows or sway side to side. Just loose neck and shoulders. In the next inhale, you'll bring hands to shins, lift up halfway to a flat back, looking ahead. Exhale, release the head towards the legs or shins. Little bend to the knees as you inhale, coming all the way to standing, lifting the palms up. And exhale, bring the palms back to heart center. So a few more times we'll kind of move through that. Both arms and gaze will lift on inhale. Exhale, bend from the hips to fold forwards. Bring the hands to the shins, lift halfway up to a flat back, look ahead. Exhale, release the head towards the legs, little bend to the knees as you rise all the way up to standing, arms up. And exhale, send palms to heart. Once more, inhale to lift up the arms. Exhale as you fold forward. Bring the hands to shins, lifting halfway, look ahead. Exhale, this time plant the hands, step the right foot back, and then the left foot back. So you're coming back towards that tabletop position on all fours. You're going to again allow the belly to come down and head and hips to rise, and exhale to round the back in cat pose. Inhale as you lift, and exhale as you round. One more inhale, lift, look up, and exhale to round the back, opening space between shoulder blades. Press firmly through both palms and then lift the right leg this time on inhale, keeping the right leg parallel to the ground and pointing the right toes down so the foot is flexed. You're pressing that back right heel away from the head, and back of neck as long as gaze is down to the mat. Slowly lower that right knee back down to the ground. Keep pressing through the palms. Try to keep the ribs and belly lifted. And you'll flex that left foot, pointing left toes down and pressing the head away from the heel. Nice and long, that lengthens the spine. And on exhale, left knee comes back down to the ground. Curl the toes under from here once more, just to bring a stretch to the backs of feet. And then you're going to shift the weight towards the hands, lift the right knee, right foot, and place the right foot between both of your hands at the top of the mat. You can use your hand to assist the foot forwards. You're going to keep the right knee directly over the right ankle, and the left thigh or left front of your thighs should be nice and kind of long, or should feel a stretch in the front left hip. You might need to send the hips forward a little bit to feel that stretch in the front left hip, but you want to make sure the right knee stays over the right ankle, the low lunge. And keep the hands on that right leg or thigh, or lift the arms up to the ceiling. Either place you are, make sure the shoulders stay relaxed. As you exhale, the hands will come back to the thighs or back to the ground, and then you'll bring both knees back to the ground towards the tabletop position. But this time you're going to lean the body forward. So you're at a 45-degree angle. Your middle finger should be facing forwards. The elbows stay close to the body as you exhale, lowering all the way down to the belly. You're going to hug the elbows in towards the ribs, roll the shoulders up and back as you inhale, lifting the chest. Exhale, release chest to the ground. Inhale, elbows close, lift. And exhale, release chest back to the ground. Inhale, you'll lift up, gazing ahead. And this time you're going to come all the way through back to that tabletop position. And then we'll switch sides. So you're going to step that left foot forwards, assisting it if you need, planting the left knee or keeping the left knee over the left ankle or left planted foot. And again, you might send the hips forward just a bit to find a nice stretch in that front right hip or front right thigh. Keeping the knee over the ankle, you can keep the hands to the thigh or inhale to lift the arms skyward. Again, shoulders stay relaxed. You're also contracting the inner thighs towards each other to relieve some pressure from that back knee. As you exhale, release the hands back down to the ground. Again, you'll come back to the knees, both knees, body to a 45-degree angle. Elbows stay close to the body as you slowly lower down on exhale. Inhale, roll the shoulders up and back to lift. Exhale, body comes back down. Inhale to lift, and exhale to come back down. Inhale as you lift, expanding the chest, and then come back through to that tabletop position, keeping the knees under the hips. This time you'll curl the toes under and then press into the hands so your hips come away from the hands and the tailbone comes nice and high towards the ceiling or sky to downward facing dog. So you might keep a nice bend to both knees here. It's not common for the heels to be able to touch the ground right away, or maybe not even for a few months, but a nice bend to the knees. We're just focusing on the length in the spine, trying to keep long arms and a long back or a long spine. The belly draws in and up towards the tailbone. And just exhale, set the knees back down to the ground. And take just a moment to allow the wrist to sort of relax so you can come into a seat and just make a few small circles with the wrists, a few different directions. And then you can walk the hands back out towards the tabletop position, and we'll try one more time. So give the toes a curl under, press into the hands, and the hips come up and away from the hands here. You might even give the head just a few gentle turns side to side. You're really trying to make sure the shoulders are relaxed. Again, the knees can stay bent. You're just keeping the tailbone high and really long arms and long spine, pressing evenly through both palms. Slowly, when you're ready on your exhale, just look ahead as you walk, taking steps towards that forward fold at the top of the mat. So the knees are slightly bent. Again, the arms can hang or you can grab opposite elbows. Just holding or swaying. Then you'll inhale, bring hands to shins, lift up halfway to a flat back. Exhale as you fold, head towards shins. Inhale, slowly rise to standing. And exhale, send the palms and gaze to your heart center. So just take a step to the top of the mat if you shifted, and then take one large step back with your left foot. You can take as large or short of a step back as you like, whatever helps you to feel most balanced. You'll also widen the legs apart, kind of the width of the mat. The wider the legs are apart, the better the balance. The front knee is bent, right knee over the ankle, and you're pressing through the back left heel. That's lifted off the mat if possible. Hands can stay to your front leg or inhale them up to the ceiling. Again, relaxing the shoulders, high lunge. As you exhale to release, just take a few pulses or steps, stepping back up towards the top of your mat. Give your legs a wiggle. Inhale to lift both arms, look up. Exhale, bring both palms back to heart. Take a step back with the right foot this time. Again, can be short or a long step. And again, you can widen your stance or widen feet apart for a greater balance. You want to feel a stretch in that front right hip. Hands can stay to the front leg or slowly inhale them up towards the ceiling. You're drawing the belly in and up and lengthening through the fingertips, but relaxing the shoulders. Take a smooth breath in and out through the nose. Again, as you release, so just take a little pulse and then step back to the top of the mat. Inhale, lift both arms, look up, and exhale, bring both palms back together. Give the knees a nice little bend here. It can be a tiny, small bend, and you'll lift the arms to the ceiling. It's called chair pose. So here you want to make sure the tailbone is pointed down, that your lower back isn't rounding or your butt's not sticking out. On your exhale, you'll come back to a forward fold, straightening your legs out if that's possible. Hands to the shins. Inhale, halfway flattening the back. Exhale, release the head to the shins. Inhale, find a rise up to standing. And exhale, bring palms to heart center. So one more time, we'll take a step back with the left foot, but this time your left foot is going to be parallel to the short side of your mat or space, and the right knee is going to be over the right ankle. So your feet are opposite. Your front right heel is going to align with the back left arch. Now open your arms to a T, and you'll bring your gaze over your front right hand. The arms are nice and strong, lengthening front to back. And you're trying to kind of use your quads to roll your hips open towards the ceiling. As you inhale, you'll straighten the front legs so both legs are straight. Take just one moment to pause, and then exhale, bend the right knee again, open the arms to a T. This is called Warrior Two. You're making sure that front right knee is over the right ankle. On the exhale, just kind of cartwheel the hands to the top of the mat and take a few pulses so you can step to the top of the mat in a forward fold. Both feet to the ground and head relaxing towards the shins. Then lift halfway up on your inhale. Exhale as head comes to shins. Inhale, bend the knees, send the arms tall towards the sky, chair pose, tailbone points down. And exhale, send palms to heart center. So step back with the right foot this time. Left knee stays over the ankle, left toes facing forward, and the right foot is going to open so it's parallel to the short side of your mat. So front left heel is in alignment with your back right arch of your foot. Arms are open to the T, gaze is over your front left hand. Breathe smoothly in and out through the nose if possible. Keep a nice even breath. You'll then inhale, straightening that front leg, taking just a moment to pause. And then exhale, bend the left knee again, opening the arms to a T, gazing over that front left fingers or hand. On your exhale, cartwheel or bring both hands to the top of the mat, and just step up to the top again to that forward fold. Maybe a bend to the knees. You'll inhale, halfway, flattening the back. Exhale, release, head towards the shins. Inhale, bend the knees. Lift arms up as you sit into that little baby chair pose. And exhale, palms to heart center. So we'll take a large step back here, allowing both feet to be parallel to each other, and the feet are wider than the hips. You can bring the feet nice and wide or keep them just farther than the hips. Hands are going to come to the hips as you start to bend forwards, folding, keeping the feet parallel to each other, and then you can release wherever's comfortable. That might be the fingertips, that might be palms of the ground. If you can't reach the ground at all, you might shorten your stance or bring a little bend to both knees. If you are able to come down with the hands towards the ground really comfortably, then you might need to widen your stance further. You can feel free to support your body wherever's comfortable. Breathing nice and evenly. Nice even breath helps to control heart rate, blood pressure, helps you focus during the practice. So from wherever you are, you'll lift up to both hands. If you need to bend your knees to bring hands to the ground, that's fine. Left hand stays to the ground under shoulder. Inhale, open right arm skyward. You can open the right arm as much or little as you like. Nice twist here. And exhale, you'll plant the right hand to the ground. Right hand under right shoulder. Inhale, open left arm. You're drawing the belly in and up to the spine. And exhale to release that left hand back to the ground. You'll just give both feet kind of a heel toe in closer together towards each other until your stance is nice and short, or feet come together and you find yourself in that forward fold again. Little bend of the knees or legs straight. You'll take a few sways side to side. Then inhale halfway, flattening the back, look ahead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, you'll slowly rise up to standing, lifting arms. And exhale, send palms to heart center. And take a step back to the top of the mat and inhale as you lift both arms. Exhale, bend from the hips to fold. Inhale, halfway, look ahead. Exhale, plant the hands, step back so both knees are to the ground again towards that tabletop position. Lean forward to a 45-degree angle. Exhale, come down to the belly. Inhale, you'll lift that chest off the ground. Exhale, come back down. Inhale, you'll lift the chest, elbows close to the ribs. Exhale to come down. Inhale to lift, and exhale as you lower. Inhale as you lift. This time you'll kind of round the back, lifting up through both hands, and we'll come into child's pose. So the bottom's going to come towards the heels. You can keep the knees together or separate the knees wider. You can walk the hands out in front of you and find a nice stretch under arms, or if that bothers your shoulders, you can bring both hands back towards your ankles or feet. You can allow the forehead to come to the ground if it reaches. It doesn't have to. You're just finding the most relaxing place for you. On your next inhale, you'll release the hands to the ground if they're not and lift the body up and slowly come over to a seated position. So you're going to just extend both legs out from that seat. You might use your hand to lift the cushion or your butt cheeks away from your sit bones to root the sit bones to the ground. You're going to send the left foot into the groin and the right leg is extended, right foot flexed. Inhale to lift both arms. And exhale, turning to bend or fold over that right leg. You really want to make sure that that right leg stays fully connected to the ground. You might be able to release your hands to your shins or to your ankle, or just keep them to the ground, wherever's most comfortable for you. That keeps that right leg connected. The right toes face up to keep lots of length under the leg. And make sure, again, the shoulders are relaxed here. Next time you inhale, you'll lift up back to your seat, and then you'll switch sides. So you'll extend the left leg and pull the right heel into the groin. You'll inhale, lifting both arms, lengthen. Exhale, rotate a little, fold over that left leg this time, really making sure that the left leg is connected to the ground. If you notice that your knee starts popping up off the ground, that left knee, then you need to ease or back out of your fold a little. Again, left toes stay up to lengthen the leg. Hamstring and shoulders are relaxed to make sure they're not creeping up to the ears. Jaw is also relaxed. Just notice the air coming and going. On your inhale, you'll come back up to a seated position and then extend both legs out in front of you this time. Again, making sure the sit bones are rooted to the ground. Inhale to lift both arms, lift the upper body and torso out of the hips as you come towards a forward fold, folding over both legs here. Seated forward fold. The feet are flexed again, toes up to the ceiling. And you're simply relaxing the upper body towards the lower body. It's okay to allow the back to round a little here. You're just really focusing on the lengthened legs rather than how far the upper body comes towards the legs. And you might notice the air entering, exiting through the nostrils, body. Next time you inhale, you'll come back up to a seated position, lift the arms and lengthen, and take a twist, rotating to your right. You'll place the right hand behind the back. Left hand might assist against the leg or knee. The collarbones are wide, gazing over right shoulder side. As you exhale, you'll unwind back to the center. Inhale to lift both arms. And exhale, twist to the left, planting left hand behind the back, lifting through the top of the head, and exhaling, twisting to the left. On the next exhale, you'll unwind and just scoot yourself forward so you can bring both soles of the feet together, knees coming wide, and using your arms or body to just slowly walk yourself down onto your back. So relaxing on the back, the soles of the feet are together, the knees come wide, kind of like a butterfly position. And you're just allowing the hips to relax here. You can keep the hands connected to the ground relaxed, or to give yourself a bit of pressure resistance, the hands can come onto the thighs, just gently bringing them towards the ground. It might feel nice to close the eyes for a moment. And then you'll bring both knees back together and into the chest. And just bring the hands around the shins, rocking side to side for a moment to massage the low back. And then you might just want to make a few circles with the hips, kind of forwards or backwards, loosening them. And then planting both palms to the ground, you'll lift both legs up to the ceiling or sky, flexing both feet as if you were walking on the ceiling. Just allowing the feet to come skyward, reversing the blood flow. And then you'll bend the knees back into the chest and drop the knees over to the right side of the body. You're allowing both arms to come out to the sides, and your gaze is to the left as your knees are to the right. You're really just allowing the body to kind of fall or land where it falls. You're not trying to use any force or resistance. As you unwind, you'll bring both knees back to the chest, hands to the knees, just to neutralize the spine. And then the knees will come into the chest, and you'll drop the knees to the left side. And the gaze will come to the right side. The arms are out to the sides. Don't worry about what's touching the ground. Just allow the body to naturally twist. Still trying to fill the belly on inhale, filling up from the bottom of the belly or bottoms of lungs all the way to the upper chest. And then exhale, slowly release the air. As you slowly unwind, you'll send both knees back to the chest, bringing the hands around the shins, and then dropping both feet to the ground and allowing just one full stretch for the body here. Maybe turning the head side to side, stretching head to toe. And from here, you'll find one place to relax, allowing the feet to come apart, maybe the width of your mat, allowing the ankles to roll open. Releasing the jaw, space between your eyebrows or forehead is softened. And keep the palms facing up for a more receptive feeling, or flip the palms to face the ground to feel more centered, or place one palm on the belly and one palm on the chest. It's kind of nice as you're beginning to focus on the breath to keep the hand on the belly and chest, so you can notice the parts of body that are moving, noticing the belly rise on the inhale and the belly fall on the exhale. Taking a few moments here just to allow any thoughts to just leave the body and allowing the body to be still and muscles calm. And to just note the air coming and going, the sense of ease. Should any thoughts come into the mind to distract you, just acknowledge whatever thoughts those are, and then allow them to pass on the next exhale. Again, noting the rise in belly on inhale and fall in belly on exhale. From here, you might start to just deepen the breath a little bit, so you'll add some length to your inhales, add some length to your exhales, breathing as fully as you can. And keeping the eyes closed, maybe just bending the knees and slowly allowing the body to roll over to the right side. Relaxing on your right side for a few moments. In fetal-like position. And slowly, when you're ready, use the hands to just press the body up, lifting the body back up to a seated position. Any seat that's comfortable for you, cross-legged or not. Try to keep the eyes closed and keep the spine nice and tall so the shoulders are stacked over the hips. Take a few moments to just note how the body feels. Note the extra space you've created in your body. And just bring both palms to heart center. And sort of bow the head to the hands just to acknowledge your practice. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Namaste. Hope to see you again soon.